So now all the holes are drilled, so the next step is to chamfer the edges. We will be using this jig to help with that. I'll show you how to do that in a moment. But you take this jig off. And you will be given a bit that is much wider than the others, like this. This will be the one you will use to chamfer. And now it'll probably be a good time to use low gear. Low gear has a lot higher torque. If this was steel, we would definitely use low gear. But it's just a good showing. So again, turn it on. 120 is fine. Now how this jig works is the die will sit in it. The vices will clamp onto these edges, and it will keep it at a 45. So when we chamfer it, it gives us the ability to take just the corner off. Clean out your vise. Make sure it's sitting flush. Now it's clamped onto the die, not the jig, which is the important part. So once you line up your bit, you need to get a Z0 again. So move it on top, not all the way. If you come from the side, this cutting edge is over it, but not the center. A lot of these bits have an empty center, so if you push down, then it can leave material in the center of the bit and give you a bad zero. So, turn it on. I saw a chip, and I zero it, and bring it back up. So now the bit is lined up with the edge of our die. This is to get the zero, so you can turn it on, lower it. You'll see it just took off a tad bit of material there. You can zero the Y, or the Z, and now you're ready to make your chamfers. In my case, it was about a 0.72 or 0.77 chamfer. No, 0.077 inch chamfer, like from the Z, not like the side. So you can move your bit off of your die, move it till it's negative. It's very finicky. That's fine. Negative 0.074. Lock it. So this is saved now. So when you rotate it, you don't have to re-zero it because it's a cube, so every side is the same length. And now you can start it. Put your safety glasses on. Approach it. So now, you've chamfered one of your sides. Watch out for the burrs. You will deburr the surface as well. And you should do this between every go, because burrs like this can mess up what your vise is actually clamping to. So instead of clamping to the sides, it can clamp to the burr and mess up how well you have your grip. But yeah, there's the chamfer. Now do it for all the sides, and you're good. So doing this makes a lot of chips that can sit in this jig. So after every chamfer, you're going to want to remove it, clean the jig and the bottom of the vise. So every time you put it back in, you will have a clean height so your zero doesn't get messed up. So now we're going to, this is optional, it's quite technical, so if you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to, but we're going to cut off these edges using this jig. This jig sits in the vise like that. It's going to have to be a little more open. And clamps on the chamfered sides themselves. So you put it in an orientation where the chamfered sides are parallel with the vise. You can clamp it. Now this is secure. And you'll do it in just the same way as you did before. I have the bit spinning. Lower down till you see it remove any amount of material. Zero it. This is a little more freeform. It's hard to do the calculation of actually how far to go down. But through trial and error, you find a good level, lock it, and then do that for all your sides, just like this. Make sure your vise is really tight. So now I found my zero. Take it back. So I'm going to try 0.03 first and see how that looks. And that seems like it's a good height. So now you have cut off the corner, and then you will just repeat it for all the edges. A good rule of thumb to make sure it's positioned, you should have a face pointing out this way. So now all the sides are chopped off if you chose to do that. This is what it will look like, and this is fairly clean, but you're going to have a lot more scrap. There should be a shop vac nearby. If not, you can locate one. And make sure to clean up your area, clean the table, clean behind it, clean the floors. Just make sure you leave it as you found it.